Hi, I'm Terry and I'm nuts about stamping. I'm back today with another Sundays with Sizzix project. I'm going to make a dropping by to say hi card with the help of my Big Shot and a couple of new products that I just received. I'm going to start off with my card base being a crumb cake. I've cut it 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it at the 4 1/4 mark, and that's going to be my card base. A layer for my card base is going to be very vanilla. And I want to use my Big Shot and a brand new folder. It's called Woodland embossing folder. It's amazing. So I'm going to pop my very vanilla cardstock into the folder. And then I'm going to run it through my Big Shot. I'm going to make sure my paper's nice and straight. So I have my platform on tab 1, bottom standard cutting pad. I have my folder with the cardstock inside. Top standard cutting pad, and then I'm just going to run it through. It's slipping up. There we go. Run it through my Big Shot. There it is. I'm not sure you can see it in the light, but it is beautiful, and I'm going to show you a really neat tip to enhance it in just a moment. But before I do that, I have my Big Shot still handy. I'm going to use my magnetic platform now, and I'm going to create an embellishment for the front of my card. So I've got my bottom standard cutting pad. I'm going to put a piece of scrap crumb cake cardstock on it, and then one of my circle collection framelits, and then my top standard cutting pad, and I'm going to die cut out a crumb cake circle that I'm going to use on my card. Okay, let me get my Big Shot out of the way. There's my circle that I need. Okay. And then the next thing I'm going to do is cut out or punch out a phrase. This is the brand new Acorny Thank You stamp set. I love this set. It's got a coordinating punch that's an acorn punch, so you can create all these really cool acorn images. But I'm going to use the phrase that says dropping in to say hi. I've got a scrap piece of very vanilla cardstock. I'm going to use my crumb cake ink. I have got the stamp already mounted on a clear block. Going to stamp it down, upside down, but that's okay because I'm going to use my punch here. I believe it's the Decorative Label punch to create the phrase for the front of my card. I'm going to bring in a sponge, and I'm going to use my crumb cake ink to just age the edges of this punched phrase so that it's not really a stark, very vanilla against the layers that I'm going to use on my card. All right, so I mentioned before that I was going to do something special with my Woodland folder. I'm going to bring in my crumb cake ink again. This time I'm going to use one of my sponge daubers. I love these daubers. I think you get 12 to a pack. Such a good value. You just slip it on to your finger and dab it into your ink, and then just rub up on the image of the tree, and it makes it stand out more from the embossing folder. You can do it as dark or as light as you like. It's your choice. Re-inking in between. So you'll definitely want to get some sponge daubers on your product list along with the holiday catalog order that can go in starting in September. This is one of the products that you can purchase. All right, so now I'm going to take my layer. Hopefully you can see how I've aged it. I'm going to take my layer and attach it to my card base. There we go. And to the front of the card, I'm going to add a piece of Designer Series paper that comes from the Go Wild Designer Series paper stack. I'm going to put the crumb cake circle underneath though. So I'll put the circle on first. And then I'm going to put the strip of Designer Series paper across the front. And then I have my phrase, which I'm going to bump up using a Stampin' Dimensional or two. I love to lift things off the front of my card. It just adds such visual interest to it. So I've got my dropping in to say hi phrase. And then the last thing I'd like to introduce you to are the Woodland's wood elements. They have little acorns, leaves, and these little banner images. And I have taken one of the acorns out of the pack. And because this is a tree image background, I am going to add that beautiful little acorn as my final touch of interest. I'm going to use a glue dot. So I leave my glue dots right on the pack, and I just press the wood element against the glue dot, lift it off carefully so the glue dot stays stuck underneath, and then I'm going to attach it as a final element on my card. And there we go, a beautiful hello card that I created with the help of my Big Shot and a couple of different products. For a complete listing of the supplies that I used and the measurement for the cardstock, please hop on over to my blog, www.nutsaboutsstamping.com. While on my blog, check out lots of other sample ideas. You can ask me a question. You can shop for the products I used to make this card. There's a link on my blog that'll take you over to my online store. You can check out lots of club ideas, and I have a new customer rewards loyalty program starting in October, so come on back to my blog and check that out. Or you can just ask me a question. I'm Terri. I'm nuts about stamping. See you next time. Bye for now.